Hey everybody, it's me, Sarah Wiseman, and today we're talking about one of our channelings that we're working on. And here is the channeling. These are very short and they have a lot of information in them, so we'll just kind of go through it and see what we come up with. When you expand to include yourself as part of collective soul, you understand your smallness and your greatness. When you expand to include yourself as part of collective soul, you understand your smallness and your greatness. And there's a couple parts to this. First, when we're talking about this idea of collective soul, we're talking about the part of us that is oneness. And so our tiny little part is oneness, that's us, our specific, unique self. And then, of course, the larger everything that exists in all dimensions, in all times, is also oneness. And I think this idea of expanding, a lot of you guys have done that really classic meditation exercise where you go into your auric self and you expand your aura a couple inches out of your body, and then you expand your aura a foot out of your body, or you expand your aura 8 feet out of your body, and pretty soon you're expanding your aura all the way to your building, all the way to the general vicinity that you're in, all the way to the neighborhood you're in, all the way to the town you're in, all the way to the place on the planet that you're in, all the way past the earth, all the way into the galaxy. And you just keep going, expanding your particular soul, the aura, the energetic signature that inhabits your body. And you go as large as you can go. And of course, you can go infinitely large, right? You can go infinitely large. And then I would also say you can expand in reverse, which you could go to the smallest, tiniest electron particulate, smaller than electron particulate energy source. You just keep going smaller and smaller and smaller. And always you're having this awareness that consciousness is you, whether you're sitting right in your body as a spirit awareness in human form, whether you take your spiritual self and expand into the universe as far as you can imagine, whether you go as small as you possibly can imagine. And I would even say, it's not just expanding large or expanding little. We can also, a lot of people that work with me as students know, we go all around in these time dimensions and in these other dimensionalities of awareness or consciousness. And so we start expanding all the ways we can through matter and time and space and dimension. And we understand that we're a part of all of it. We can go experience all of it. We can experience it the large way. We can experience it the tiny way. And what this begins to bring to us is this sense of awe, here we are, these tiny little humans with our very short lifespans and our very limited capacity, each of us, to do much of anything. I mean, if you were an astronaut going into space and look down at Earth, you'd be like, yeah, and that's where I live. Just this tiny, tiny little dot on the map, and this understanding of our smallness. Or head out to any cemetery and go look at the gravestones and look at the length of time for these lifespans that people have, and don't just get it as a statistic, go out and look. Like, here is so and so, they lived for 40 years, they lived for 10 years, they lived for 1 month, and they lived for 90 years. Everyone's going to have a different lifespan, but we go and get this idea of like, here we are in all of this time dimension, and we are just the tiniest little blip. And then humans ourselves are just a pretty small part of the evolutionary time span. So understanding our smallness, our in human form in this lifetime, our limited ability to do anything, even if we're contributing and working as hard as we can, we just get this little piece of contribution we're going to add. And then also at the same time, we're magnificent. We're these pieces of oneness roaming around with other pieces of oneness, collecting and communicating and contributing to the evolution of collective soul. And this is the kind of stuff I like to think about, or maybe you like to think about. Life can be filled with these very mundane, boring activities. You got to go get your groceries, or you got to cook your food, or it just feels like sometimes there's traffic, or there's the commute, or there's hardship you got to take care of. And what is the actual reality of who we are? And this idea of understanding your smallness and understanding your greatness. And this might be an interesting way to go about your day to day, to lift off from that worldly point of view, the constant mind thread, and just think about this. I'm tiny and I'm magnificent. I'm a piece of collective soul, and I am collective soul, all at once, all together. Anyway, have a great, wonderful day. I'll be with you next time. You'll find everything at SARAWISEMAN.com.